Hello, my beautiful peeps out there. How are you guys doing on this beautiful Thursday? How you guys doing out there? I want to apologize to you guys that I didn't go on live last Thursday. It's a lot. It's a lot. I have a lot going on in my life right now. So that's why this subject that, I'm going to speak on today is very important. I'm back. So, you know what I do. I'm getting ready to tag a couple of people, let a couple of people know that I am on live. Give me a second. I do not have the right to this music that's playing. I just tagged a couple people. I'm going to light my sage to get this positive energy to uplift everyone out there that is feeling some type of way. If you're feeling some type of way lately, and your energy is just all over the place. I am going to burn my sage before I get started to put everybody in this good, positive mindset. To all the ones out there, I'm burning my sage for you guys to uplift you today, to bring in some positive energy your way. I'm going to continue letting that sage burn through the whole podcast. So I want to talk about how to stay positive through overwhelming times, because that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling very overwhelmed, and the ones out there that is feeling overwhelmed, I'm going to give you guys a couple of tips, and maybe these tips can help you guys, guide you through this feeling of being overwhelmed, and help you guys to look at it in a positive way, because a lot of times, when you get overwhelmed, you get a lot of negative thoughts in your mind, a lot of negative thoughts, so we're going to have to learn how to change those negative thoughts in our mind when we get overwhelmed. So, I'm going to read a couple things and hopefully these things will help you guys out there, because like I stated, right now at this moment, I feel overwhelmed because it's a lot. It's a lot going on. So I'm going to get started. Feeling overwhelmed is a natural part of life. Everyone occasionally feels overwhelmed by expectations, responsibilities, and a lack of time. If you find yourself saying, "I am overwhelmed," or feeling stuck with more than you can handle, know that you're not alone. You're not alone. Don't feel like you're the only person, feel like you're overwhelmed, because you're not alone. There's a lot of people out there is dealing with that right now, being so overwhelmed. And with me, when I get overwhelmed, my energy is just so off, like my mind is just going and I'm just trying to keep the positive thoughts in my mind, and I know it's hard, and I know you guys, hear me talk about positive all the time. but the power of positive thinking. But for many of us, especially during this time, staying positive is not easy. You know, sometimes those negative thoughts come in your mind, and it's hard for you to be positive when you're so overwhelmed. You know, and we have to learn how to stop, you know, bringing in the positive energy, you know, and those positive thoughts, because, I mean, those negative thoughts, I'm sorry, because of those negative thoughts, you know, that's making things worse for us when you're feeling overwhelmed. I'm going to give you guys a couple things that you can keep in mind, you know, and help you get through it when you feel overwhelmed. One, know that feeling overwhelmed is natural. Feeling overwhelmed is a natural response to having too many things going on at once. Once you realize it for what it is and invite it in without fighting it, you can begin to work with it to improve your feelings in a healthy way. And that is so true. You know, sometimes we're afraid to let things in that is bothering us, to face how to deal with those emotions that's making you feel overwhelmed. You know, we have to learn how to talk about things that you're feeling inside and express those things to get some of that overwhelming out of you. And I learned that this process that I'm dealing with, being overwhelmed, you have to face what is overwhelming you. And you have to approach it in a positive way so you can release that overwhelmed feeling out of you. You know, you have to find ways to help yourself. You know, you have to find ways to help yourself. You know, list what's overwhelming you. Lists are very powerful things. I often find that when I am feeling overwhelmed in life, I lose sight of what is causing me to feel this way. You know, some of you guys, you know, like to write down your feelings. You know, so write down the things that you feel that you're overwhelmed by. You know, write those things down. I don't have to write those things down because I know the things that, you know, I'm finding myself feeling overwhelmed. And all you can do is take it one day at a time. You know, if you got a lot of things that you're finding yourself being overwhelmed, you have to take one thing at a time. You cannot expect to do everything at once. It doesn't work like that. You know, because if you try to do everything at once, all that's doing is draining your energy from you, and then it's bringing in negative thoughts, you know, and it's keeping you there and making you feel extra, you know, overwhelmed. And, you know, you don't want to feel that way. You know, that's why it's very important, you know, for you to start thinking things in a positive way. You know, that's very, very important to try to change your, you know, your mind thinking, you know, especially when you're feeling so overwhelmed. You know, you can't allow those negative thoughts to take control of how you're feeling, because all you're doing is bringing in that negative energy around you, and your mind is not clear enough to to work out what's overwhelming you. You know, you You have to find ways to help yourself. You have to. You can't always look at other people to teach you how to go about, in your life. You have to try to make baby steps to try to do things that you feel that can help you, because everybody handle things in different ways. Everybody do things that they feel like that can help them, so you just have to find ways to help yourself. 3, it's a breakdown of thoughts. When you feel overwhelmed, your life isn't falling apart. Your thoughts are. Take a minute to find and clean out all the negative emotions and thoughts. That's why I say, our thoughts plays a big game, in our life. If you let your thoughts start thinking of negative things, you're bringing on negative energy on you. You have to try to start thinking of things positive. And I know a lot of you guys out there, probably saying to yourself, it's easy for you to say, to think of things positive, when you're feeling overwhelmed. No, it's not easy, but you have to take baby steps. That's the only way that you're going to learn, to get into yourself, learn how to change your mind thinking to positive thinking. It takes baby steps. But once you practice it every day and teach yourself, it'll get easier to you to, think of positive things, especially when you're overwhelmed, because a lot of times, growing up and going by the things that our parents have taught us, or the things that you have watched, that you saw that people do, we have to break the curse. We have to start releasing the things that we are dealing with inside, and don't be afraid to talk about those things, because as long as you holding those things in and you're not releasing those things, the more negative thoughts that is going to come to your mind, and it's going to keep you there, being overwhelmed, because you're not trying to look at things in a positive way, trying to help yourself get out of that feeling when you're feeling overwhelmed. You have to find ways to try to, look at things in a positive way. If you have to read different books to teach you, to show you, you have to do those things. Number 4, when you felt this way, like, we all felt being overwhelmed before in our life, and thinking about the number of times you get overwhelmed, how did you overcome? How did you overcome it? If you don't learn from the past experience, you'll find yourself suffering from the same problem over and over. Life is a circle. Life is a circle. God brings things back to us all the time. Some things that he brings back to us more often is the things that he feels that we're not understanding, or we're not getting it, or we need more experience from that, So you have to look back on the things that when you felt so overwhelmed and you got yourself out of that, sometimes you have to go back and remember the things that, made you look at things in a positive way to get you out of that moment when you felt so overwhelmed. Sometimes we forget about the things that we have overcome in our life. We forget about those things, because we forget about those things because things are going good in our life. And then when things not going good in our life, we forget how to overcome those things, when sometimes some of those things are the same things that brought you into that feeling of being overwhelmed. So remember You know, if you ever came to a point in your life that you had to overcome something, remember those things that help you overcome those things. And I'm pretty sure those things that help you using a positive mind frame to help you. That's why being positive, it does help you a lot. It do. It really does. You know. Um, and another thing, go to a quiet place and take as long as you need to remember previous time in your life you felt this way and how you overcome it. 5, pick one thing. Feeling overwhelmed often happens when you feel you have too much to do. Regardless of how much you have to do, you only can do one thing at a time. And a lot of times people try to do more than what they are capable of doing. We have to stop that. You know, we only could take on one thing at a time. You know, and once you accomplish that one thing, then you move to the next thing and you move to the, you know, another thing. Because a lot of times some people overwhelmed come on because they take it on too much. You know, sometimes you have to just step back, you know, and take a breather. You know, sometimes you have to step back. Feeling overwhelmed is a natural part of life that comes from trying to always take on more than we should. But there are things you can do to reduce those feelings once they do arise. You must have something positive that you are ready to shift your attention to when your thoughts turn negative. You have to really sit there and really think about what is really overwhelming you and ask yourself, how can I look at things in a positive way? You know, I'm a very, very, very positive person. I try to look at my situations that I get overwhelmed about. I try to bring out the positive things out of it. I don't mean to get a little emotional. You know, like I stated, I have a lot going on and my energy is just off. You know, and it's okay to feel the way I feel. You know, but you have to, you know, you have to shift, you know, that positive thing into you. You know, you have to look at things, or, you know, look at your life and, you know, put a smile on your face. Try to uplift yourself. And that's the biggest thing that people have to learn. You have to uplift yourself. You cannot expect people to uplift you. You have to find ways to uplift you. Like me, you know, I feel cute today, you know, and I'm always, you know, making myself look cute to uplift me. You know, that right there uplifts me. You know, that makes me feel good, you know. And I'm going to give you guys a couple tips that that it can help you, you know, when you're feeling overwhelmed. You know, 1, take a deep breath and step away. You have to learn how to step away from your life for a minute. You have to, you know. And my thing for me, when I step away, I have to go to the beach. I have to go buy some water. I don't know, you know, everybody find different things that give them that peace, that calm. You know, me being by the water, it gives me an opportunity to listen to the waves and, you know, and just be calm for a minute. Just let my mind just stop for a minute, because when your mind is just going and going and going, you know, it's just alive. You know, it's alive. And you have to take a moment to yourself and take a deep breath you know, to think things, you know, because a lot of times when we get overwhelmed, we will react on negative things or say things in a negative way because we're not taking the opportunity to just step away, take a break, and just breathe. You know, we have to do that. We have to, because, you know, if you don't find a quiet place or take a breath, you will have a nervous breakdown. You will. Your body will shut you down. When you feel so overwhelmed, your body will shut you down. You know, and you don't want to get to that point. You know, you don't want to get to that point. 2, be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. You know, you only could do the best that you can do. You know, don't beat yourself up. You know, don't bring into that negative thoughts in your mind about yourself. Don't do that. You know, don't do that. You know, don't beat yourself up. You know, 3, ask for help from loved ones. If any of you guys out there feels overwhelmed, you know, don't be afraid to talk to that person that you feel so comfortable of talking to, you know, that you feel like is no judgments, that you can actually release how you're really feeling inside. You know, find that person to release that feeling, because if you don't learn how to release what you're feeling inside, it's going to destroy you, because you bringing in that negative thoughts, you know, you're bringing all that in, you're keeping everything that you're feeling inside. You know, you don't want to live like that. You know, you want to release the things that you're feeling inside. And for the ones out there that is afraid to express how they're feeling, you know, because they have grew up, you know, and learned to, you know, how you feeling inside, what goes on in you, that's supposed to be private. You're supposed to keep that to yourself, you know. No. You're not supposed to keep that to yourself. Yes, when private situations, you know when to keep certain things private. But when you're feeling some type of way inside and you need to express how you're feeling, no matter what you're going through in your life, you need to express how you're feeling inside. You know, you got to stop telling yourself, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. Because you're not okay. It's okay not to feel okay. You know, it's okay to feel like you want to scream. It's okay to feel like you want to cry. It's okay. And people have to realize it's okay to feel the way you feel. Stop allowing people to tell you how you feel. Nobody knows how you feel but yourself. You know, and people got to stop telling people don't cry. You know, sometimes when you cry, it could be happy cries. You know, they don't always have to be sad cries when you cry. You know, but you have to get those things out. You have to. You know, you have to, because once you get those things out, it'll make you look at life different. You know, it will bring in that positive energy to you. And your life will feel so good because you're living a positive life. You're learning how to express how you feel. You know, we have to stop saying to ourselves that people know how we feel. People don't know how you feel. Stop it. You know, stop. Stop thinking that people know how you feel. People don't know how you feel. Express how you feel. 4, go to a place that gives you strength. Like my place is the beach. It gives me strength. So you have to find a place that you can go to that gives you strength. And 5, pray. Ask God to guide you. You know, I ask God all the time to guide me in the direction that my life is supposed to go. and guide me through the things that I know that I am strong, but I'm not strong. You know, because a lot of times people feels like the strong ones don't have emotions, or you know, they always know how to deal with situations, but sometimes the strong ones are weak at times. You know, yes, when you're strong, you learn how to handle things in a different form, and you handle things in a positive form. That's why you find some people that are so strong, because they learn how to handle things different, you know, because all things don't need a reaction. You know, a lot of times people get that confused. People feels like you have to show reaction to be strong. No, you don't. You know, you just have to teach yourself how to go about things in a positive way. You know, and I have learned, you know, through the process of learning myself, I have learned that some people are not on the same journey that you are on in your life. You can't expect people to be on the same level when you're on a level of a positive, like a high positive level, by dealing with things different. You know, it takes practice to learn how to handle things different. It does. It takes a lot of practice, you know, and I just learned to, you know, to handle things different in my life and switch things into a positive way, you know, and learn, you know, from those things that, you know, that came across me that was negative, you know, towards me. I just learned how to just switch that energy and switch it into a positive way, you know. And you know, some people are like that. Some people know how to switch their that negative energy that, you know, they dealt with in their life. They know how to switch it around and switch it to that positive energy, you know. And that's just me, you know. I learned how to do that, and that's just the person that I am, you know. And it's beautiful, you know. It's beautiful. I'm going to give you guys a couple quotes. Like I say, I'm burning my sage for all of you ones, all of you guys out there that's feeling down, that's feeling overwhelmed. I'm burning my sage for you guys out there to uplift your spirits. You know, God got you. He got you. You know, but you got to continue thinking positive. Whatever situation that you're going through at this moment, bring that positive energy in your thoughts. Bring them in your thoughts. Erase that negative thoughts, because trust me, God is going to tell you what you need to do, but you got to have that quietness, and you got to let him come to you. Bring into that positive. You got to let go. Let go. You know, sometimes, you know, when you're getting overwhelmed, sometimes don't listen to people's opinion. You know, and you got to learn that. Stop listening to other people's opinion, because other people's opinion would destroy you. It would destroy your mind, you know. And that's one big thing that I am learning and working on, is that other people's opinion, you can't, you know, because a lot of people's opinion will bring in some negative thoughts, real negative thoughts, you know. So I'm going to read you guys a couple quotes. In order to move on, you must understand why you felt how you did and why you no longer need to feel it. When my heart is overwhelmed, led me to the rock that is higher than I. Trying to burn my sage through this whole little, through my whole podcast, to bring in that positive energy. It's burning. I got the ceiling fan on, so it's like trying to bring in that positive energy. And Lord knows I have been burning my sage, guys. Ooh, I have burning my sage and doing some praying, guys. Life has many ways of testing a person's will, either by having nothing happen at all or by having everything happen at once. Overwhelmed. When emotions are high, sometimes we let these moments overwhelm everything. We do know how to respond. Our thoughts and the actions we take. Learn to not let these emotional, draining times overwhelm everything you do. Is part of self-development that can benefit you above anyone else. Let yourself feel knowledge and understand why you are feeling a certain way, but try your best not to let them take over everything you do. When you feel overwhelmed, remember that nothing outside of this very moment matters. Everything else has its own time, and the past and the future are not important right now. Just do your best at this moment, and don't think beyond yourself and feel present. Make the rest of today a good one, or is that too much? Make this hour a good one. Trust that your efforts will build up. It's okay to say you're not okay. You can be sad, angry, upset, anxious, drained, overwhelmed, or afraid and still be positive. Remember that. You can still feel angry, upset, anxious. You can still feel all of those things, but you can be positive. So remember that. Just because you feel those things, being angry, sad, anxious, you have to bring in that negative thoughts. You know, it brings on negative. No. You can still be positive and go through those things. Remember that. Before I go, guys, I celebrated my birthday Saturday. My birthday was October the 1st. Just excuse me for 1 second. Sorry guys, I'm coming. Sorry about that. But my birthday was last Saturday, October the 1st. I turned 52 years old. And I'm just going to give y'all a little story that how God works. If you know me, I love celebrating my birthday. I do. Every birthday, I do something. I have a gathering, a party, a dinner, you know. That's just me. I just love celebrating birthdays because I feel like God giving me another year, another chapter in my life. So that's why, my birthday is means a lot to me. So, I had a couple of my friend girls ask me, Keisha, what are you going to do for your birthday? And I'm like, I really don't know. I really don't know. I kept saying, I really don't know. I really don't know. And I kept feeling like, my energy was off. Like, my energy was off. So that's why I didn't do my podcast last Thursday, is because my energy was off. And I just kept wondering why I'm just feeling like this. Like, I just don't know. So, my sister called, and I was like, I told my husband, I was like, babe, you know what? I know why my energy is off. I know why I'm not really feeling my birthday this year. I said, because God is trying to tell me that I need to go, to Atlanta and spend my birthday with my mom. And that's what I did, And sometimes, God comes to you. God will put that on you, and I knew that's why my energy was so off, because he was just trying to tell me, you need to go to Atlanta and, bring your birthday and with your mom. And that's what I did. It was very beautiful. It was me, my sister, and my mom. And I got a little cupcake and, got a candle, and her and my mom, my sister and my mom, they sung happy birthday to me, and it was beautiful. It was very, 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 very beautiful. Right now it's a very, very, very trying time for me and my sister. But we're looking at things in a positive way. We're uplifting our mom, because she's a very, very, very strong woman. And sometimes, God brings things to you to teach you and show you the things that really matters in life, and treasure things, and I am glad that I started off a new chapter in my life with my mom. I'm glad that God did it the way that it was supposed to do, because you know what? You only have one mom. And I know some people, some guys, some of you guys out there might not have a good, close relationship with your mom, or, your mom went through it and all of that, But, my mom is my heart. Moms are like the main person that gives you life, to bring life into this world. And my mom is a very, 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 very strong woman. And she taught both our daughters to be strong. And we are strong. And I want my sister to know that I love you. And thank you for being the main caregiver for a mom, because I know you get very overwhelmed, and I know it's a lot. But I want to tell you, big sis, thank you. Thank you. And we're going to get through this together. All three of us, me, you, and mama. Because it's always with us three. Always. Like I tell my girls, one thing about it, it's always us three. And remember that. And my mom taught me and my sister that. No matter what, it's always going to be us three. And if one of us shall pass away, it's going to just be us two. You know, you just have to appreciate your life. You have to learn how to live better, do better. You have to let go of all the grudges that people have done to you. You have to let it go to move forward in your life. You have to try to change things in your mind and look at things in your life in a positive note. You have to stop allowing all that negative energy to take control of your life. We cannot continue holding on negative energy. You have to learn how to release those negative energy to be a better person. You have to learn how to accept your flaws. You have to be true to your flaws. You cannot continue being a victim and continue blaming other people and other people. You cannot. Because the things that you chose in your life, you chose it. Nobody else chose those things but you. The things that you cannot control, you cannot control. But the things that you can control in your life, you have to. The only way you're going to make your life happy and be happy, you have to change the things that's going on in your life. No matter how other people is feeling about that, if people get upset with you, it's okay. You have to learn how to grow. Everybody don't stay there. People grow. And it's okay if you outgrown someone. You know, it's okay. And learn how to express how you feeling inside. Stop allowing people, and I preach this all the time. Stop allowing people to tell you how you feel. Stop it. People don't know how you feel inside. Nobody. And it's nothing wrong for you to tell that person, you don't know how I feel. You know, express how you feel. You have to make yourself feel better. You have to uplift yourself. You can't allow other people to uplift you or sit there and feel sorry for yourself. You just have to become a better person if you want to be a better person. You know, don't be afraid. You know, yes, you might fall back into your old ways, but don't stay there. You know, and a lot of times people have to understand, watch your surrounding of people. Release yourself from people that's bringing you that negative energy. Release it. And it's okay if you don't want to be around that negative energy. You choose what energy you want to be around. You know, my biggest thing that I always tell you guys, don't forget, give someone a hug out there. Someone out there needs a hug. Trust me. Someone needs a hug. I'm going to give myself a hug. Because I needed that hug. But I'm going to burn my sage before I leave. Let me see. Let me read some questions, guys. Let's see. Let me go back and read some questions. Let's see. All right. Stacy says, amen. We have to quiet our mind, and just listen to God. That is so true, Stacy. Sometimes people don't understand. That is something simple that people cannot do. People cannot just sit there and be quiet and let God guide you. And He will show you the direction. Because a lot of times in our life, we already know that answer, but we're searching for other people answer when we already know our answer. You know, we have to start going with what you're feeling inside. Go for it. Don't be afraid. It's okay. Don't be afraid. You know, who wants to live miserable in life? You know, let me see. Olivia said, you cannot control it, but you have the power and the will to let go and grow. You are supposed to grow. Exactly. You're supposed to grow. You know, and my biggest thing that, you know, in one of my little, you know, when I have my session, sitting there burning my sage, you know, my quiet moment, you know, my biggest thing that when I burn my sage, and this is what I say, you know, if one of you, you know, like I tell you guys, if it's certain things that I talk about, you want to write it on a sticky note, you know, put it on your mirror, you do that. But my thing is that when I burn my sage, this is the thing that I always say. God, remove the people that is not supposed to meant to continue with me in my journey on my life. You know, remove those people. You know, and I'm a big thing about that. You know, remove those people. You know, their time is up. You know, their time is up. You know, I don't wish any bad things from anybody that's being removed, you know, out of my journey of my life. You know, I don't wish anything bad on them. It's just that God is pushing them from a distance for me to love them from a distance. You know, and sometimes people got to realize, you know, sometimes everybody is not going to go with you when you go into your next journey of your life. Everybody is not going to grow with you. You know, everybody's not going to continue. You know, because if you sit back and you watch all your friends that you used to be around and you notice that they're still on the same level, you know, some people it's comfortable. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. If they're comfortable with their life, the way their life is, then, you know, hey, more power to them. But I know that I want to have a happy life. I want to live positive. And I just want nothing but positive energy that's around me, you know, and I'm learning, you know, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful feeling, because I said to myself, whenever God decides to take me away from this world, one thing about it, I am going to be remembered as having a beautiful soul and a beautiful person, you know, and that's what I try to do. You know, I just try to give everybody that positive energy when they come around me. But if any of you guys out there feel like your back is against the wall, please, whatever you do, don't give up. Don't give up. Talk to someone. You know, if you can't talk to anyone, I have a number that you can call, 1-800-273-8255. You know, if you feel like you're at the point that you just want to give up on life, you know, whatever you do, don't give up on life. You know, sometimes God would bring us real low. He would test our faith, you know, but you got to keep the faith. You got to keep moving. You know, you got to find something that's going to keep you going. You just have to keep pushing. You just have to keep pushing. For the ones out there that have lost someone this week, may God give you strength. May He give you, you know, comfort. Whatever you do, just don't stay there at that sad moment. Change that sadness into happiness. You know, post pictures, post videos, talk about your loved ones, you know, keep them alive. This month is Domestic Violence Month. I will talk about domestic violence. And also this month is Breast Cancer Month. I'll talk a little about that. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for all the birthday wishes, the texts, the calls. And also, guys, continue, guys. Continue praying for my mom. You know, she got this. She got this, you know. Continue praying for her. And hey, you know, I'm glad I'm back. You know, I apologize. You know, my energy was just off. And sometimes when I feel like my energy is off, guys, you know, I don't want to bring on no bad, you know, no negative energy, you know, especially when I'm speaking to you guys, you know, to try to uplift you, you know, bring in that positive energy. You know, I don't want to bring in, you know, that negative energy. So, like, when I feel that way, you know, I like to be to myself. I like to burn my sage. I like to sit there and meditate. I like to listen to my music because my music is my therapy. You know, my music gets me through a lot of stuff, you know. And, you know, you just have to find things to bring that, you know, that good energy, you know. But thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry, you know, hey, I get a little emotional sometimes. But, you know, I'm not afraid to let go of what I'm feeling inside. You know, I'm not. You know, I have to express how I feel inside. I can't keep all that in. I can't. I used to do that, but I don't do that anymore, you know. But thank you guys for tuning in. And don't forget to share. And also, too, I do have a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Hello, My Beautiful Peeps. Podcast is the picture of me, because I did two, but it's the one with the picture of me. Please go by and subscribe. And you guys have a beautiful Thursday, and be safe out there, because cruising of the coast is very beautiful out here on the coast. It's very pretty out here. But thank you guys for tuning in. Peace. Burning my sage for y'all guys. Burn my sage. Bring you guys all out there peace, love, and happiness. And don't forget to give somebody a hug out there, because trust me, somebody needs a hug out there. And if you see me, give me a hug. I'm not gonna push you away. Give me a hug. Give me a hug, because I always need a hug. But thank you guys for tuning in. See you next Thursday. Bye.